Hey guys, and welcome back. I'm Owen from the Spirit of Halloween 05, and welcome back to another Bleeding Skull video. Now, I don't know if I have mentioned this, but my Bleeding Skull plaque did stop working since the last videos that I did on the demo and the review. Make sure to go check those out. Those are awesome watches, and I explain a bit more about this skull, and I did like a brief how I fixed it, but it wasn't really that serious. I just kind of explained, and since mine broke down, I thought Mr. Clock Radio never shuts up. Anyway, since mine needed fixing again, I decided this time I'm gonna make a video on it so you guys can see the inside of it and how it works. But even if I would replace it, even if I would make a video on how to fix, it's these little pumps here, which is what I used before. They're just gonna stop working again, and I'll get to that and of why this happens. So yeah, and that's coming up next. Here we go. The last bit I got a little stuttery, but I like to record that so you guys know that no one is perfect. But anyways, you gotta understand why the little pumps and the original pumps stop working. And that has to do with them constantly submerged in that blood. Because originally, right out of the factory, the pump is in the blood. And as you mentioned, as you would think, after a while it ends up corroding and to the point where it can't even spin. And that's what happened with mine again. So I began searching of a way to get this problem of it corroding resolved. And I had the thought, what if there was a pump that I could have sitting on top of the tank? It would suck it up. It would suck up the blood when it's activated, and then afterwards the blood would just kind of trickle back down the tube. And there are versions of this pump with a nozzle, but with the way that it works, because it's just a little 3-bladed spinner in there, because this is just a little DC mini motor in a plastic case, that just spins and pushes it up. There's no sucking. It doesn't suck at all. So that wouldn't work. So that then began my journey of trying to find a pump that would work. And I came across this, and it's a little heavier, but this is definitely a lot better quality, and it's a little bigger and the tiniest a bit heavier. But you know what? I think that this is actually the solution to the problem with the bleeding props, because it actually has 2 nozzles, one that sucks up air, then the other side pushes the air out, and it works as a water pump too. So if I hook this up to the bleeding skull and the motor actually runs, which I did test these motors and they do work, but if I can get it to work with the bleeding skull, like when it activates, it starts spinning and stuff, then we're pretty much home free, because that should resolve their problem of the bleeding skull or any bleeding prop breaking. So that's kind of my thought. Oh yeah, I did get 2 of these just in case it does break, but this actually has 3 screws, so I technically could take it apart and fix it or clean out the corrosion if I needed to, and this won't be molded into the tank like the original pump was, which we'll get to when I show you what the inside of it looks like. So, let's begin the restoration. Here we go. So here's what the inside of it looks like, and it's very, very simple. We have a tank, which you can't see it, but that's where the old pump is that we have it caulked. We had it kind of glued to the bottom, and then it just spins and pushes it up to, and then of course, out the top where it goes down. But then something that you probably didn't know is that the mouth, you probably can't see it, but the mouth is actually where the blood goes back into the tank. So, there's the red LED. And yeah, the pump. And this is probably the right tube. I don't know if this is enough, and I'm a little bit worried about the blood flow, and it may not be as good, but I'm hoping that it'll be fine. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. So I'll come back when we have a little bit more done. So here's what we did. We set it on the pump, and that works. And then this tubing, we put up there, and then it goes down into the tank of blood. And yeah, we technically are ready to try it. So let's do this. Then shot from the back. Activate it then. Nice.
You want to show them how it's draining down then?
Yeah, so basically this is how it resolves the issue. And it doesn't do this right away, but that, as you can see, it does drain down. And eventually, most of it will go back into the tank. So that should resolve the issue of the motor eventually corroding. So, yeah, I think we're pretty much ready to put it back together. We just want to make sure it doesn't leak at all, and then we'll put it back together. So, yeah, I'd say a success. So, but for what it does do, so, like, imagine you're walking in here and then so guys, it is the next day, but I think it's about time to wrap up this video, because that concludes how to fix, or the right way to fix, the Playtronix bleeding skull plaque, or pretty much any, because I even took apart one of these because it has these screws, and this part, almost this entire thing is just tank and it's sealed. So it's, even if that liquid that wouldn't drain back down into the tank, it won't corrode. So I think that this project turned out pretty good. So I'm just telling you, if you plan on fixing a bleeding prop, don't waste your money on these pieces of crap. Go the extra mile. These are like $1. You can get them online. Unfortunately, they're only made in China, but I shipped here from the U.S. And yeah, it wasn't like, well, there wasn't the smoothest restoration, and what I mean by that is we didn't have any more caulk, So we just kind of did kind of a crappy job, and pretty much as long as I don't tip it over, it shouldn't leak. Or I'm hoping even if I would tip it over, it wouldn't leak. We didn't really do a good enough leak test. If I ever were to go back in there, we would probably be putting some caulk. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time on the Spirit of Halloween 05. Bye-bye now. Yeah, I also got the Bleeding Skull lantern. Bye.